Hey everybody, how's it going? In case you can't tell, all that noise in the background is my pressure canner going. I just got it started. I wanted to make a quick video since I haven't got anything out in the past few days. Again, show you what I've been doing, and do again like usual. I've been working so much, I just haven't had a lot of time to get these videos out, but I want to show you why, aside from my usual work excuse, which is not a lot. I mean, you guys just don't know. But that's a good thing because it gives me extra money on my paycheck. I'm not going to complain about that. I just wish it left me a little bit more time to do other things that I need to outside of my job. Anyway, I've been focusing a lot on my garden here lately. In what little spare time I have, I've picked 2 major messes of beans for myself. I've filled 2 plastic grocery store bags with beans for my father. And the guy that gave me the rabbit manure, he stopped by, so I gave him a bag full of beans, some bell peppers, some tomatoes. But let me show you what I've got so far. I've gone out twice now to pick beans for myself. Each time I filled one of these pots, actually one a little bit bigger than this one, and a plastic grocery bag full. I mean, the pot was rounded over and the bag was rounded over. I picked that both times. Now, for this one, I finally got around to snapping the beans, and that bag plus the pot, even after it was snapped, this pot was rounded over. What I've managed to get out of that one pot, I canned 7 quarts of beans last night. Yeah, I know excuse the poor light because my kitchen light's not wanting to cooperate with me. I'm having some issues with it. But I've 7 quarts last night. I've got 6 more in the canner. So that's 13 quarts of beans out of that one picking. I've got that much more in the freezer that's already snapped, bagged up, waiting for me to for when I have more time to can. So that's 26 quarts of beans just out of my first 2 harvests, and I've already given a bunch of them away to my dad and to the guy that gave me the rabbit manure for my garden, and my vines are still producing. The good thing about the beans that I'm growing, the rattlesnake pole beans, is they can be harvested young and green and eaten as a snap bean, or you can let them mature and dry out and they can be harvested and saved as a dry bean, and you can cook them like pinto beans or whatever you want. And at that stage they can also be used as seed as well. So I'm probably going to pick a few more beans, but after this point I'm probably going to start phasing out actually picking them for green beans, except for maybe to put some up in the freezer. I might put about a gallon in the freezer that I can have on hand for mixing in stir fries, fried rice, things like that, sauteing. So I want something like that. But beyond that, I'm probably going to let the rest of them go mature and harvest them as a dry bean and select some of that for my seed stock for next year. But aside from the beans, these are my jalapeno peppers. I picked a whole bunch of these today, as you can see. I've picked a whole bunch of my Cherokee purple tomatoes. Now these are trying to split, as you can see, but a lot of that's because we would get 3 or 4 days worth of constant rain, then we'd get 2 or 3 days without rain, and because we'd already had so much rain, I didn't want to water on top of that. Not to mention my work schedule, I've just been on the run constantly, so there was limited time there. So it's the irregular watering that's causing them to try to split. But I'm getting some really big tomatoes that I've got to deal with here in the next day or two. So I've got like 8 or 9 of these purple tomatoes that I got to deal with. Another thing I wanted to show you is something I picked up at the store today. I went to the store looking for some canning jars, some lids and rings, because my thoughts is like ammo. You can never have enough canning jars. At least I can't anyway. I found 2 of these trays in the produce section in the reduced produce. Now, each of these trays has 2 1-pound bags of pre-sliced carrots. So there's 2 pounds of sliced carrots in this tray. It was marked down 59 cents. So I got 4 pounds of sliced carrots for $1.18. Now, they had 2 more trays of carrots like this, but instead of being sliced carrots, they were the little baby carrots. Now, I would have gotten those, but you have to chop those up before you can throw them in the dehydrator. And that's what I'm going to do with these. And I just didn't want to give myself that extra work. These, they're already sliced. All I've got to do is load my dehydrator up, turn it on, I can walk away and do something else. I don't have to stand there cutting up and chopping up or whatever. So that's why I got these and didn't get the others. Although in hindsight, I'm kind of wishing now I had gotten them, but it's no big deal. I mean, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to stress about it. Still, this is 4 pounds of sliced carrots I'm going to throw in the dehydrator. Once they're good and dehydrated, I'm going to toss them in a Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber and add them to my food prep. So that's 4 pounds of sliced carrots dehydrated for $1.18. I've got these beans that I've grown. I got tons of bell peppers. In fact, I just picked about 12 of them 3 or 4 days ago. I chopped them up, put them in the dehydrator, and I have a pint mason jar in my cabinet here. And let me get it out for you, show you. So, give you some light here. This is what 12 bell peppers dehydrated down to. Aside from that, I've been getting bags of onions from the grocery store, chopping them up and dehydrating them. This is a 3-pound bag of onions chopped up. So I'm adding to my dehydrated food stores. I'm canning food for my daily use, and that'll be rotated in and out. I've got all these peppers. I've got my jalapeno peppers that I need to slice up and throw in the dehydrator as well. I'm going to dehydrate some of these tomatoes, and I'm not sure what else I'm going to do with the rest of them. I want to try to can some peeled tomatoes, but I've never done that before, so that's going to be a learning experience. I've never really done any major canning before. The only thing I've canned aside from these beans is I canned some chicken soup, homemade chicken soup. That was the first thing I'd ever canned, and I've got like 7 or 8 quarts of that in the cabinet over here. But this is what I'm doing. This is why I've been asking. I've been working, and then I've been doing this. Hasn't left me a lot of time for anything else. So I highly recommend you guys do the same thing. Another thing that I did, I don't have many vices. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't drink coffee. The one thing I do drink is sweet tea. And I'm bad about my sweet tea. I almost can't function without it. It's my equivalent of most people's coffee. So one thing that I'm doing is I'm buying tea bags. In fact, I've got 5 boxes here. And y'all have to ignore my messy kitchen. I've got a lot going on right now. But I've got these 5 boxes of tea bags here that I'm going to separate. I'm going to bag up in Mylar bags with O2 absorbers and toss them into my preps. I've got more tea for my daily use, so this is separate from that. I'm buying salt, boxes of salt. which I've got over here. I'm adding that to my preps. It's cheap, 59 cents a pound. Buy a box or two every time I can. That's going into my preps because if things ever got really, really bad, total grid down collapse, salt not only can be used for seasoning food, it can be used for preserving meats. So salt is important. So that's what I'm doing. I'm canning, dehydrating, packing up, storing everything I can, and I highly recommend you people do it too. Because, as I've said before, I honestly believe that we're going to need these things before you might think about it. There's going to come a time before you might realize that we're going to need these. So that's what I'm doing right now. I hope you are too. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video, give you guys an update on what I've got going on. This is what I've got going on. I've got my hands full, so I'm going to get off here. Appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Take care of you guys. I'll try to get another video out as soon as I can. Until then, take care. I'll catch you later.